about 9,000 in Malaysia, right?
Yeah.
Have you ever heard about Sumac? SUMAC. Maybe you can find in the internet. You can take it orally, or you can dissolve it in water.
With
Drink
water,
that.
yeah.
Yeah,
Warm
drink.
water.
Yeah, warm water. That will do.
I
Might be habat sauda.
Habbat soda, yeah.
Yeah, habat sauda. So in the pharmacies, they have the pill for habat sauda. Lot of brand. So
Mm.
habat sauda. So maybe you should try habat sauda or sumac or lemon.
I will. But
Mhm.
lemon, I cannot take it when I will get stomach pain.
I see. Mhm.
Inshallah, everything will be fine.
Inshallah, we do pray for you.
Thank you. Thank
Okay,
you so much.
okay, not to worry. So if you are not so well or quite having a headache, so you can leave the class. Not to worry. You can. But even to here, I welcome you. But
Inshallah.
it's up to you if you feel tired. So you just.
Actually, I feel like I want to vomit. I'm
I
not
see.
feeling well. Yeah.
Mm, yeah, because for me last week, even though I just get a close contact with the COVID-19 patient, so I got more like migraine. So I cannot do anything. So just quite lay down.
Uh,
Mm,
this
so
is the third time in this week I got sick. I don't know what's the reason.
I.
I did a full checkup, but they said
Mm-hmm.
just relax, eat properly. That's it.
Yeah. So, but
Mm.
you have to take the alternative medicine such as or the supplement. Because they said you have to take a lot of vitamin C and also vitamin D. But for vitamin D, what you should do just spend a few minutes, about 15 minutes, at the warm area or outside. Yeah, it'll do. I think.
I was, I don't know.
Yeah,
I
but just lay down. If it's not feeling quite well, just lay down. Not to worry.
it's from yesterday till now. I don't know. It's getting worse.
Yeah, yeah,
After I took the medicine, I thought I will be fine. I drink a lot of water, but still
yeah,
same.
yeah. You should drink a lot of water. But I think you should drink a lot of warm water though.
I don't know. I'm not a good doctor.
Yeah, not to worry about that. All of us are not a good doctor, so we just feel like to drink, we drink. We just feel like to eat, we eat. That,
I don't have appetite to eat also. I feel like if I eat, I will vomit.
yeah, but you have to force yourself. Or maybe you have to take قمع or رطاب.
Well, I was
Yeah,
trying to eat, but
قمع. So because it will suppress my stomach. If not, it will be keep vomiting.
mm.
Mm-hmm. Just relax. Not to worry. Just relax. Inshallah.
Okay, doctor,
People,
thank you so
yeah.
much.
Mm.
I think
Have you? Yeah, because you haven't go for the checkup, right?
I will go to clinic. I think,
Yeah, you should.
yeah, better.
Yeah, that better. Yeah. Are you alone at your apartment?
Actually, no, I'm not alone.
Uh,
My,
it's- not to worry. Then they can look after you, right?
mm,
Mm.
okay, doctor, thank you so much, and sorry for
You
wasting
can
your.
call the Pusat Kesihatan UTM the KL.
Okay, thank you so much.
Okay.
Okay, bye-bye. Means I can go to UTMKL for the clinic.
You should call first. You
Um,
and
Actually, like every week I spend 350 for just clinic. I don't know if I can go to.
No, you just call them first because you're a UTM student, so you should be able to go to UTM clinic, UTM KL. So
I
just
think
let them know. You call them first, give your symptom, and ask them whether you're permitted to go there or not.
it's open or closed. I don't know. Maybe it's closed.
Mm, today, because it's essential service, so might be they open. Because for UTM JB, we have total lockdown quite some times already, for 2 weeks already. But
Yeah.
for the health and for the security, it's still operating.
Oh yeah.
So because we have total lockdown, and then we have TEMCO or restricted movement order.
Yeah.
So even we have that RMCO, yet the clinic staff they went around all the colleges in UTMJB.
Uh,
So maybe you can,
I think
uh,
I will just go if
yeah,
because it's nearby my house, just like 1 kilometers
I
far.
see. Maybe you should give them a call first, and then describing them your situation, so maybe they'll know what to do. Because actually, for UTM, be it UTM KL or UTM JB, we have a daily update on the COVID-19 situation in UTM JB and UTM KL.
Oh.
So if anything, we are UTM, be it staff or student, we have to let them know. Because me myself also, when they say I have to self quarantine at my own house, because they give me the letter, so I have to give the letter to UTM for them to, because just as a proof or statistic for them to report on daily basis.
Mm. Alhamdulillah.
So maybe I can try to find the contact number there after this. By the afternoon, maybe if I have time.
Yeah, because I'm living in KL, so I think it's better for me to go
Yeah,
there.
it's better for you to go there. Yeah,
Uh, like I
because
spend a lot of money just for the hospital and the clinic, and
yeah, quite expensive. But you have to go to UTM because you have there. Even you have
yeah,
to pay, maybe you have to pay, but not as much as
yeah, like
you
at least like 50 ringgit, it's okay, but not
yeah.
clinic.
Mm-hmm.
They give just Panadol or some medicine.
Yeah,
Way
yeah, yeah.
expensive.
I understand that. Yeah, yeah.
Yeah. Okay,
Oh,
doctor. Thank you so much. I will try
okay.
to contact one of my friends. He's living in campus, UTM campus. So I think
Yeah,
he
better for you to
knows.
contact them. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Yeah,
Mm.
yeah. Thank you so much, doctor, for help.
Okay, not to worry.
Bye. Assalamu alaikum.
Waalaikumsalam warahmatullah. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. I think maybe you can start now, even though not full house as yet, because for today, actually, based on the course information, we have two more skill to look at. The first one is adaptability skills, and the second one, global citizenship. But actually, if you look at our first at the week 3 by the Deputy Vice Chancellor regarding understanding graduate employabilities, they've been mentioned there already somehow rather regarding adaptability skill and global citizenship skill. But no matter how, I just will try to look at it in detail regarding adaptability skill. Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. الحمد لله رب العالمين والصلاة والسلام على أشرف الأنبياء والمرسلين سيدنا محمد النبي الأمي وعلى آله وصحبه أجمعين. اللهم افتح علينا حكمتك وانشر علينا من خزائن رحمتك يا أرحم الراحمين. رب اشرح لي صدري ويسر لي أمري واهل عقدة من لساني يفقهوا قولي. رب زدني علما وارزقني فهما أما بعد. Okay, for today actually, if we look at the course information, because we do change quite several times, it should come first at week 2 or at topic 2, adaptability skills. So looking at this slide, as you can see, the best thing about the future is that becomes only one day at a time. So meaning that you will be able to adapt to the new future. So now we have at the time whereby we need a lot of sacrifice, a lot of adaptability to be done to ourselves or to the community due to COVID-19. It's been around for about 2 years, 1.5 to be exact. Yet still we have to follow through a lot of SOP, lot of procedure process, lot of MCO, total lockdown. Then what do we mean by adaptability? It came from adapt and ability, or meaning the ability to adapt to something new or to that something that have changed. So McKeown did mention that the adaptability is that the art of winning in the age of uncertainty. So whereby the term winning here actually regarding how you can win the uncertainty, not winning over other people, you're winning yourself so that you'll still be able to survive the uncertainty. So if you look at the first one, yesterday I was clever, so I wanted to change the world. Today I'm wiser, so I'm changing myself. And then the pessimist complains about the wind, the optimist expects it to change, the realist adjusts the sail. By William A. Ward. Finding gratitude and appreciation is the key to resilience. People who take the time to list things they are grateful for are happier and healthier. So if you look there, based on these three quotes, meaning that if we ever wanted to change the world or to change the situation or the phenomena for such right now, for the pandemic, for COVID-19, we want to change it to become better for us. So if you want to change the world, you have to become you have to be a wise person first. If you're wise enough, you are that's what it's stated there. So I am changing myself. So how do we change ourselves in order that the future for the world will be better off? So as we mentioned throughout the newspaper so many times, throughout the social media regarding we have to do they have to what 3C 3W, or in other words we have to lock down ourselves, we have to in other words we have to be with ourselves, and then only then the world will change for the better. That's the first one. The second one, we look at the behavior of the person, of the attitude, be it the pessimist, the optimist, or the realist. So if you look there, actually, the pessimist, optimist, and realist, they have quite a lot of discussion regarding should we take the vaccine or should not take the vaccine. So it's widespread, not just among the the urban area, but up until the rural area, they did discuss regarding why do we need to take the vaccine. So if the group among you from Kedah might be able to just share some of the audio regarding the discussion regarding. But sadly, it is in pure Kedah dialect, quite hard to understand. But if you are from that part of the state, you will be able to understand quite well. So that's why regarding the pessimist, we just complain about everything. So now I think quite a large number around the world and in Malaysia as well, they are so pessimist, just keep complaining about the COVID-19 right now. Just complain. That's the pessimist. But the optimist expect it to change for the better. Just more on put some the expectation. But what we wanted for the nation, or for the whosoever among us in Malaysia and throughout the world, we wanted to have the realist. Why we have to adjust the seal? In this case, we have to adjust the way of our life, how we live, for the betterment of the future, for the survival. That's why it's stated for the third one, finding gratitude and appreciation is the key to resilience. So as we mentioned previously, we need to have that kind of resilience in ourselves in order for us to go through all the weather. And for UTM, based on UTM graduate attribute in 2017, we do come with this attribute. For adaptability skill, we have two only, whereby for the AD1 is to adapt to the culture of new communities and work environment. So for adaptability one, what we try to embed to the student, the skill is more on how can we adapt ourselves to the new communities. For example, our international student, how can they adapt to the nation way of living or lifestyle, or the culture, the environment. So that's why, and work environment also. If you look on YouTube, quite several YouTubers did mention the life changes from living in Japan with the hardship or the work done there, and having to work in Malaysia. Quite a number of them rather prefer Malaysia in terms of work environment here. That is AD1. And if you look at AD2, recognize potential for improvement. As we can see that wherever we go, we have to start from down, from the below. So from that, we have to recognize the potential in ourselves to improve ourselves for the betterment. We have to adapt for that's the adaptive skill that we try to embed to all of students in UTM. So what is adaptability? If you look at the definition, sometimes we will quote from the Oxford Dictionary or Webster Dictionary regarding the definition. So here stated that the quality of being able to adjust to new conditions. Actually, for my slide, I have three YouTube video, but due to the fact previously I have tried for my student, they won't be able to hear the audio, so that I just omit. So maybe after this, I will just send you the link in WhatsApp. We can watch together the YouTube regarding adaptability. I have three different scenarios. Inshallah, I will try to post it by later today. Individual capacity to modify behavior according to the requirements, new environment, situation, or events. So if you look at Johnson 2012 regarding this, and if you were to relate the situation happening here in Malaysia and throughout the world, and such, for example, how come some of the states, some of the country, they can adapt better, they can some part of the world. For example, if we look at the Australia, how can they do the total lockdown for a certain state or for certain city based on only few number of COVID-19 patients? For us mentioned, we waited until the daily number shoot up to 9,000. Only then we have to think about, oh, we need to do second total lockdown throughout Malaysia or throughout East Malaysia. So, but in the other part of the world, what they did is that even a few number of people been infected by COVID-19, they have total shutdown for that particular area. So how can they do that for the country, and how come we cannot do quite the same in order for us to maybe reduce the cases on daily basis? So why adaptability? Now, if you look at why, the world is changing. Today's life and work environment require far more than thinking skill and content knowledge. So as being pointed out last week regarding thinking skill, we need to thinking out of box. Might be we need the last 2 weeks to think without the box. So now, due to the fact that the world is changing, what we need to do, for example, for Malaysia right now for the public service, we have total lockdown and only 20% essential services are allowed. Staff are allowed to go to the office. And for UTM, UTMJB and UTM KL, we take further action whereby we state on our policy and our procedure that 100% have to work from home for WFH, and only essential services are open, whereby the essential services are, we list down the most two important: security and health. Apart from that, we also permit staff, if they have very urgent matter to go to the campus, they need to apply, need to get the permission from the administration, and then they can go there the most 4 hours per day, because we want to reduce the contact hour or almost the social contact hour. So why adaptability? Because at the moment, at this point of time, we because due to the global area, globalization, we have multiple generation, multiracial, multi-ethnic, and we need to mix around. That's why we need to adapt. Why we to have the adaptability skill, because we need to know the differences between way of life. For example, for Malaysian, for the Malay, even we say we are Malay, but if you look at our ethnic, or might be different part of the state. For example, Kedah. For Kedah, we have our own logat or our own dialect, but somehow or other, for Kedah, for each of district, they have their own or different bit dialect, different way of life. So that's why we need to adapt. And then why adaptability? Thirdly, as a symbol of intelligence and wisdom, whereby if you're wise enough, if you're knowledgeable in a particular area, you should be able to adapt to new things. That's what happened to all the explorers throughout the world, in Islamic history or the world history, whereby it's mentioned that a lot of them, for example, Ibn Battuta, they need to adapt, because only then they can do the reporting quite clearly regarding what happening throughout the world. Then the adaptability, not only for UTM that we have the adaptability skill that we embedded in the curriculum, but it's become the 21st century student outcome throughout the world. Then the adaptability, why we need that? Because the advanced technology keep learning and evolving. So as you can see, for Malaysian, we have MySejahtera in terms of advanced technology to look after us regarding COVID-19. So MySejahtera is one thing is that it will just good for the government in order for them to do the tracing up if we have contact with the COVID-19 patient. But apart from that, the MySejahtera also being used as the information gate, whereby I have been swapped for my test whether I have COVID-19 or not, and then the information or the knowledge or the result, actually they just submit to us by using MySejahtera. So it's listed there, negative COVID-19. So meaning that if we are to go to any shopping complex to do my groceries, I just show them that I have a low. So it's quite good already. And then that's what I mean by 21st century student outcome. See, that 21st century learner is all those kind of things. formative and media literate. That's why we said lifelong learning, financially and economically literate, an innovator, a self-directed learner, civically engaged, globally aware, a communicator, a problem solver, critical thinker, and a collaborator. So in order for us to become a very good learner in this era, in this century, we need to have this kind of skill. Why? Because nowadays, I think for UTM, this is our third semester having to study from our home. Even though some of you guys they came to UTM to do the practical, do the lab work, but we have to send them back before Raya just now. Only a few of them being helped in UTM due to widespread of COVID. So that's why we stayed there. And then even for the student, some of them did manage or did choose to come to the campus to study because they wanted to have a better Wi-Fi or better internet services. But they still need to study from their own apartment or from their colleges, and the lecturer from their own home. So that's the way forward, I think, for quite some time. And then you should check with e-learning for other courses whether you need to take final exam or not, because some of the program they stated that no need for the student to take final exam, so the assessment will be based on 100% coursework. So it will be different from some of the faculty stated that they have to take final exam online. So it will be quite hard for student and lecturer to do the final exam online actually. And then if you look here, this successful change will have to look at the awareness, the desire, knowledge, ability, reinforcement in terms of to successfully change ourselves from good to better. If you look at the change there, we need to adjust to new, we need to shift, transform, or transition, modify in order for us to be able to be at we are now. So if you look at the dimension of adaptability, there are two at least, intrapersonal and interpersonal. But due to the fact that we are at the age of technology, whereby we also put the technology as the dimension of adaptability, because a lot of the intra and interpersonal adaptability has to do with technology. Because for the technology, we have to accept of new technology and innovation. Quite a lot of innovation nowadays just evolve or revolve around the technology or the IT only. For example, as we mentioned, or if you were to fuel the car from Petronas, no need for you to go to counter. You just use application, and application is settle. So when you arrive at the Petronas, just click your handphone, put the amount that you wanted to buy the oil. Just that's the fuel. That's it. So you have to be able to adapt yourself to new technology. And then for Petronas, apart from their permanent station, they also have movable station in order to cater for, like nowadays, for the COVID-19. So we have a lot of PKPD or RMCO, whereby they send the mobile petrol station to that particular area, so that the people or the community around there still can fuel their car. So we look at the intrapersonal skill, we're dealing with uncertainty or uncertain and unpredictable. And then we're looking more on the solving problems creatively, as we mentioned 2 weeks earlier. And learning effort for ourselves, we have changed drastically from face to face to the depending more on the technology, be it real time or be it asynchronous, whereby some of the lecturers just submit the video for you to watch quite repetitively for that particular course or for that particular topic in the course. And then for interpersonal, you need to manage your stress well, because for us, a lot of stress. So a lot of stresses and stresses there in the world right now. And then we have to handling emergencies and crisis. That for intrapersonal. If you look at the interpersonal, develop good relationship with others, culture adaptability and environmental adaptability. That's why if you look at our AD for the skill for UTM, we have these two, AD1 and AD2. And if you want to look further for the intrapersonal, for I just mentioned it right now, there are four things actually. They have to the ability to understand own inner feelings, self-realization, and to know about own skill, philosopher. That's what we term as intrapersonal. So if you look at the intrapersonal regarding our own personal self, we need to look at our physical, our emotion, and our skill, our social skill. So if you are from the Faculty of Education, you will have this kind of thing. What I see, what I do, personal competence, social competence. More on, they have termed as Johari window. So personal competence and what I see is self-awareness. Personal competence and what I do, self-management. Social competence, what I see, social awareness, and what I do is relationship management. So for intrapersonal skill, you need to be aware of this for particular quadrant. So the lowest quadrant is that you need to know yourself first. You need to self-aware in terms of your personal competence and in terms of what you see for yourself. Then after you realize that, you need to, at the personal competence, you need to do some improvement. So you need to do your self-management. And then you cannot live intrapersonal only, you have to look at the inter or at the social competence as well. So you need to look at your social awareness and relationship management. So now we go to interpersonal. So for interpersonal, as we mentioned there, develop good relationship with others, culture adaptability, and environmental adaptability. So in order for us to grasp that three matters, what we need to do, we need to be able to organize people, group activities, and social relationship, leaders, social workers. That's what do we mean by interpersonal. So if we look at the interpersonal, all the skills stated actually, first, the adaptability, the negotiation, conflict resolution, communication skills, conflict management skill, persuasion skill, affirmation skill, team building, and self-awareness. So they are interrelated with intra and interpersonal skill. So you need to self-aware yourself first. So here, stated there, social competence and personal competence, what I see, the self-awareness. You need to self-aware first, only then you can have this social awareness and relationship management. Okay, for students who have the effective interpersonal skill, they need to have this kind of thing. Communicate effectively, empathize with others, support the group, interact well with team members, cooperate and compromise, exhibit enthusiasm and humor, portray self-confidence, share leadership role. So if whoever among you wanted to have an effective interpersonal skill, you need at least to have this kind of thing. And then how do we improve our interpersonal skill based on this 8 things? So stated there, first you have to be able to appreciate what happening or what being surrounding you, what being happening surrounding you. You have to be appreciating, and then you have to pay attention to every single item being mentioned or being done, being carried out by others and by you yourself. Practice active listening, not just pay attention, but also practice active listening. So that's why in Arabic, in terms of this kind of thing, for Arabic, they are quite clear because we said Alhamdulillah. For Malaysian, we just translate it in Malay or in English to praise to Allah. But for the Arabic world, there's not just one praise. That's why I said the two things happening there, not just one praise. For Alhamdulillah itself, they have two different words, two different meanings. Then bring people together. Resolve conflict, communicate clearly, humor them, empathize, smile always, don't complain. Or maybe you can complain, but don't complain too much. So why do we need interpersonal skill? For example, for this class, we have from members from at least 4 or 5 different nations. So, and then we have different race. We have different race, different ethnicity, and different nation. So you can read there. I'll share on the internet or on e-learning. That. So with that, I finish my class for today. Not finish my class, but the lecture. Because for 1 more hour, actually, we'll be discussing about our assignment. Is there any question for the adaptivity first before we proceed with the assignment? Anyone? How about any question regarding the assignment? The magazine. I just share with all of you regarding one of the magazine, one of the example, right? The magazine before this last week. So nobody want to ask anything? The topic of the assignment. See, the topic of assignment for the group, right, Safwan? For the group assignment is that we mentioned, I submit already in e-learning, whereby you need to list or discuss at least 3 different graduate attribute that we have in UTM graduate attribute, at least 3 of those. And then for each and every of those skills, you need to discuss in the report. But your report actually just not in Microsoft Word or in PowerPoint, but in magazine form. You need to do the assignment based on magazine template. So for the template, actually freestyle. It's up to your own creativity. Is that okay, Safwan?
Yes, doctor.
I think only one of you from here that haven't got any group yet. I will assign her to the group. The one from Bangladesh. Is she around? Just now, this morning, she's around. So I think because we have 21, so it's a group of 4. So one day we'll have 5. So I repeat, for group assignment, what we want from you is that you have to discuss at least 3 different skills that are in UTM that we are embedded to the student. For example, for UTM, we have scholarship skill, we have enterprising skill, we have thinking skill, communication skill, globalization skill, or global citizenship skill, and adaptability skill. So you need to take at least 3 of those, and then you have to put it in the magazine format. Or might be you can do that magazine actually more on like news, or more on reporting news regarding that particular skills. More or less, that will be like that. So for example, you have your own group. No need for you to just list down your name, okay, group members. But maybe you can say the managing editor, based on your creativity. Not just list down your group name members. But maybe you have to be creative enough as relating with that issues. So, any more question? If you talk about climate change, it's okay, but how it relate with the skill there? Because we want to portray the skill, the soft skill. The climate change is the scenario. Because previously we did ask students to discuss about climate change and what's not, but for this semester and last semester, actually, what we did is that we twist a little bit, whereby we want students to address based on their understanding regarding all the skills. So your team wanted to have to do with climate changes, okay, but how that climate change relate with this kind of thing? For example, maybe you can relate on it for one thing, more on global globalization and global citizenship. So, but as I mentioned just now, we need at least to have three skills, 3 soft skills needed. You got me, Rizwan? Okay. Okay, now you know today you can discuss regarding that climate change, not to worry, but the main focus is that you need to look at the skills needed by the student, but in that magazine template. Anyone else? And then you have to do it 2 part, right? First, you have to do the assignment, the report in a magazine form. Secondly, you have to do the presentation. So the presentation, actually, every members has to participate. So maybe if every member is per member, you wanted to speak or to talk, to discuss, maybe the most for every member 5 minutes. So 4 of you, so 15 to 20 minutes in terms of the presentation. Then what you need to present, actually, you need to present your magazine. So you have to put your class in front of you, and you have to mention to them what the magazine is all about, the content of your magazine. And then the assessment by me or by the lecturer will be looking on your chosen skills, and then for that skill, actually, maybe for example, you said communication skill. So for your communication skill, maybe we students have quite a number of issues regarding or relating with communication skill. Nowadays, due to COVID, very hard for us to have a face-to-face meeting, have face-to-face communication. We need to do a lot of communication skill using the technology, using WhatsApp, using Google Meet, using whatsoever the media or the medium, might be Facebook, or they have every quite a number of it. So that's the media, and then you have problem regarding that media. So how do you overcome that problem? So because for communication skill, as we mentioned previously, is that you have messenger relay the information and then to be received by the receiver. But throughout that particular receiver sending a message to the messenger to the receiver, a lot of noise occur or did happen. So for our case, in order for us to discuss regarding communication, how can we how can we eliminate or reduce that noise or that particular hindrance that we have that befall us regarding communication skill? And then for example, if we look at the thinking skill, or might be, let's say, at adaptability skill. So it's mentioned that for adaptability skill, we have at least three different areas that we should able to discuss at our intrapersonal, interpersonal, and the use of technology. So maybe we said that the technology in terms of our adaptability play a major role. Why? Due to the fact that we have three or at least three different age group. For example, the ages nowadays, we have Gen X, Gen Y, and Gen Z. So might be after we have a new generation regarding that. So there's three different generation. If you study, if you wanted to do the magazine, we can mention that Gen X, they're really what we term as all-timer person. So they're very hard for them to change to new things. Very hard for them to embrace the how to use settle for them to pay at petrol kiosk or petrol station. Why? Because it been put forward to their minds that you cannot use your handphone while you are in at petrol station. But now you ask us to pay using handphone. How could that be possible? So that kind of thing that you need to discuss. Actually, if you were to take that adaptability, and if you want to take that particular age group or generation, how they can adapt well with the technology, intra and interpersonal. Okay, is there any more question regarding that? Regarding group assignment? Because for group assignment, you need to do assignment and also to do the presentation. Next week, we will discuss regarding global citizenship, and then I will open up and I'll give you all things regarding the group assignment, all the assessment method and whatnot. So we'll discuss about that, and then I will give you the week later for you to discuss based on your own group to come with this assignment. Is there any more? No. So now the matter quite clear already for all of you. how to do the presentation video. That's right. You just submit the link. You have to submit to YouTube and just submit to the link. I will provide the submission link later on using Google form. That's what I did previously for your individual presentation. For your presentation video, it's up to you, up to your creativity. Or maybe you can use Prezi and then you can share Prezi plus Google Meet, and then you have to share yourself. Or maybe nowadays what they did actually, you have the, I forgot that one, the YouTube one that you can share at least the most 6 of you for free. YouTube for free. YouTube or Facebook for free, 6 of you can discuss together. Forgot that one. You can browse now. You are the latest generation, and you can use technology much more better than I do actually. So for the video creation, it's up to your creativity. My daughter, even though at secondary school and primary school, they have to do their assignment using videos. If no more question, let us conclude for the class today. Meeting again next week regarding global citizenship and also regarding how do you put all the assignment together. Okay. So we close with Surah Al-Asr and Tasbih Kafarah. سبحانك اللهم وبحمدك أشهد أن لا إله إلا أنت أستغفرك وأتوب إليك. بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. والعصر إن الإنسان لفي خسر إلا الذين آمنوا بالصالحات وتواصوا بالحق وتواصوا بالصبر. السلام عليكم ورحمة الله وبركاته.